Today we're tying
a very buggy nymph pattern that utilizes the dubbing loop technique to create the abdomen. We'll be using the S402 hook along with a tungsten ball bead. Start with a couple wraps of lead wire just behind the bead. Not only will these wraps of lead wire help get the fly down more quickly, but they'll also help you taper the thorax more. Then, start your thread just behind the lead wraps. Be sure to cover your lead wraps with thread and create a tapered body, and then follow your thread all the way back to just before the barb. Tail your nymphs with pheasant tail fiber, but make the tails a bit longer than you normally would, as the body material is also going to be quite long. Now, tie in a stretch of wire so the butt end of your wire squares up against the tapered thorax you've created. Once you've added your tailing materials and your wire ribbing, here you'll form the dubbing loop to create the abdomen. Just like last week, you're going to double your thread over your finger and return your thread back up to the hook shank. I'm doing it closer to the shank here for the sake of demonstration, but in fact, I'm going to need a considerably longer segment of loop to fill with dubbing. Once you've created the length of loop you prefer, close off your loop by wrapping on each side of the dubbing loop. Then, bring your thread back up to right where your taper begins. Fill your loop by stacking with your preferred dubbing material, making sure that your longest fibers run perpendicular to your thread direction. Once you've filled your loop, hook in each hook of the dubbing loop twister into your thread. Now, adjust your material inside the dubbing loop while pulling it taut, and then spin it to complete your dubbing brush. Once you've created a tight dubbing brush, you can brush out any additional material. Now, wrap your dubbing brush forward to complete the abdomen, preening the fibers back to make sure you don't trap too many of them down. Trap down the end of your dubbing brush and then trim it free. In this step, you can brush out some of your loop material before you pummel your wire forward across it. Wrap your wire forward, wiggling it as you go to not trap down as many fibers. Then, trap down your wire and trim it free. You'll create the thorax in 3 steps. First, tie in your flash material so it sits flat on the top of the fly. Now, tie in your pheasant or turkey fiber that'll create the wing case. Tie it in tips first so that you're bringing forward the thicker butt sections to create the front. Again, you want to ensure that this material sits squarely on the top of your fly. Tie in a couple strands of peacock herl and then twist the peacock herl around your thread. Now, wrap your peacock herl forward with touching wraps. Separate it from your thread and then tie it down. Bring your wing case material forward, trap it down, and then bring your flash material forward right across the back of your wing case. If you'd like here, you can tie in the tips of that material you use for the wing case to act as legs. Whip finish here and trim free the butt ends of your legs. Now you can add a bubble of UV to finish your shellback. There, you have a very buggy nymph pattern that utilizes the dubbing loop technique to create the abdomen.